Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new podcast. Yes, Jamie and I return with episode 213 and our first podcast of 2025. First of all, Jamie, as always, how are we doing, sir?
Happy New Year to you. If you don't say it to me, I'll say it back at least.
Fair
I'm
enough.
doing well. Yeah. Matt is back in the country, so I could be doing better.
A bit mean.
But here we go. We're the right way up, and we're here to do a little quiz. It feels like we've not done a quiz, our weekly quiz, in a while. So this time, the whole show is a quiz to make up for it.
Exactly.
So we're going to look back at 2024 Formula One World Championship, and we have each prepared a question per race, alternating, because it would be a bit weird if I did the first 12, you did the second 12. That would be a bit odd. So yes, hopefully we have one question per race, and we haven't prepared questions for the same race, but we haven't confirmed that. So we will see.
We'll see how this goes as we run through. Of course, this is our annual kind of interactive quiz. Jamie and I, we quiz each other every week on the show, but this one is for you guys as well, to get yourself involved with. So
No cheating.
No cheating, 24 questions. Let us know how you get on down in the comments below. But I believe, Jamie, you have got the Bahrain Grand Prix.
You're winding me up.
I am. I've done all of the
Good.
odd number
That would've
ones.
been
Jamie's
awful.
done all the evens. Otherwise, that would have been hilarious. So, Jamie, question
Yes.
one then. So, Bahrain, all the way back last February. Seems mad now, doesn't it?
Was it
Oh, it was
February?
technically March that the Grand Prix was on the 1st.
Oh yes,
The 1st
Yeah,
of
yeah.
March. It was the first ever Formula 1 season opener where all of the starters were classified finishers. Max Verstappen got his 5th ever Grand Chelem in Formula 1, leaving him now just behind Lewis Hamilton and Jim Clark. But when was the last driver and season that we saw a Grand Chelem in round 1?
In round 1.
In round 1, season opener.
Right. Well, I can't spend all day on this because we've got 23 more questions.
We
to
have
get
got
through.
quite a few to get through, so please don't worry about this too much.
We'll go.
I guess we're scoring against each other here, by the way.
We are, yeah.
At
So we're out of 12.
I should have made these more difficult.
Well, this is quite hard to start off. I have a feeling it might be Bottas. Because he did very well in Australia in 19, didn't he? I'm going to go Valtteri Bottas.
Incorrect.
Oh. What
It's
didn't he get?
He didn't get fastest lap, I think.
Maybe he didn't get pole. Did he get a launch off the line?
He definitely got pole. I'm pretty certain. 'Cause
What
Hamilton-
was it? What was it?
It was Michael Schumacher in 2004. It's been a very long time.
Oh, that's been a long
since you
time.
saw
Wow.
Grand Chelem in the
There we
opening
go.
round of the
And that's
season.
lead every lap, pole, win, fastest lap, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
Wow, you'd have thought. I'm surprised Max didn't do that in 23, to be honest. But
I would, yeah. Well, you got to remember 20.
he won.
I
23.
suppose the weird thing is obviously with a lot of them being obviously Michael Schumacher, Bottas, like you mentioned, being Australia, is that the cars tend not to spread out as extreme, and obviously
No,
people
so
are
then-
worried about undercuts and things
And
like that
often
as
back
well.
in 04 or like 2000s, refueling was a thing, so no one.
Exactly.
The fastest car often didn't get pole.
Exactly. But
Fair
yeah.
enough. There we go. Well, on to Saudi Arabia, round 2. Ollie Behrman, obviously his debut. That was fairly memorable. Max Verstappen made it 2 from 2, and 9 in a row, which was pretty amazing at that point in the season to almost get 10 wins back to back with one gap in the middle. But the question I'm going to ask you is, how many penalty points did Kevin Magnussen get in this race in aid of Nico Hulkenberg scoring a point for Haas?
Just this weekend. So obviously, he basically, for those of you that don't remember, he basically blocked the second half of the entire field throughout
Yes.
most of the second half of the GP. I'm gonna guess 4 from this weekend alone.
Incorrect. He actually only got 3.
I
this race.
did think it might be an odd number.
Yeah, he got 5 in Miami, 3 in Saudi.
5 in Miami is so
And then-
hilarious.
He got 2 lots of 2 in other places. One of them, obviously, in Monza, where he got
Yes.
banned for the race after. But only 3 points here. But it did get Haas a point, so it was definitely worthwhile.
Exactly.
It was actually for a collision, I think, with Albon or Tsunoda. I think it was Tsunoda.
Did he get 3 points for that, did he? I thought he got a 2 and a 1. Yeah.
No, it was the 3 points.
Fair enough.
Next up was Melbourne, wasn't it?
Yes, it was the Australian Grand Prix. Obviously, it was quite a dramatic one in the end. We saw Max Verstappen suffer his first DNF in 2 years, his last one coming at also Albert Park, Australia. This time round, though, again, it was a mechanical issue for the Dutchman that ultimately stopped him from winning 10 Grand Prix in a row, pretty much back to back. We also obviously saw Lewis Hamilton retire from that race. But Jamie, your question is, who was the third driver that failed to see the checkered flag in Australia?
Oh, that's annoying. You know what? In prep for this, I watched the 3.5 hour long video
Did you?
of the race highlights and skipped all the ones I wasn't doing a question for. Because Hamilton and Verstappen were the first two to retire, because there are all the memes about it being in Melbourne and you turn the timing tower upside down.
And also Bottas had like a 50-second pit stop.
Yeah. So you had Verham Bot in the bottom 3 at one point, but who didn't finish that race? Was this that? No, that wasn't that year. I think it could be Magnussen, but I don't think that was that year when he hit the wall for no reason. Was it a stab in the dark with, I don't know, Zhou Guanyu?
Jamie, you're going to kick yourself. This genuinely was meant to be an easy one. No, Magnussen obviously caused the red flag chaos in 23.
Yeah.
I've got 2 words for you. Red flag. Red flag.
Oh, of course.
Mad, isn't it?
He wasn't out. That feels like so long ago.
It's mad, isn't
Aston Martin was racing a Mercedes. Wow, fair enough. Yeah, should have got that. George Russell obviously didn't see the checkered flag because he saw the back of Fernando Alonso a little bit too late. Yes, that's annoying. I should have got that one. Okay. Well, next up was Japan, which we've referenced many times. Probably our most overrated race when we're looking at our race ratings.
Yes, yeah.
But I watched it back on the highlights. It looked quite entertaining. Obviously, you never had much doubt about it being a Red Bull 1-2, which it was. But there was an awful lot of movement going on in the top 8. We just didn't realise at that point that was going to be the same every race. So the question I'm going to ask you, though, is more to do with the midfield. Yuki Tsunoda finished best of the rest, discounting Aston Martin at that point in the season. Got some points in his home race, but on 2 occasions overtook around the outside of the long right-hander before Dunlop in Sector 1. Who did he overtake?
I've got no idea. It's just going to have to be a stab in the dark. I'm going to say Daniel Ricciardo. And I'm going to say Zhou Guanyu.
0. Ricardo was in the wall after 2 corners. So
of course he was, yeah. I forgot about that. Again, that feels longer ago than it was.
Yeah. These are really like... The Red Bull dominant era of this season was very forgettable once we got into the real stuff. No, it was Pierre Gasly and Nico Hülkenberg on destroyed, ruined tyres. So,
yeah, there you go. There's always a caveat.
There's always a caveat. I've got to just say that it wasn't a skill issue.
So where did Tsunoda finish then? Was it 10th? Or 9th?
Tsunoda finished 9th, I believe.
Who? Out of the
Alonso
top runners,
was
then?
Stroll. It was
Stroll, of course, yeah.
Yeah, because Alonso was in the top 9.
So who was the
Olympics?
Who was the other top runner then that didn't? Who Yuki also beat?
I'll do some research. I typed in Japan 24 and it brought up the Olympics, so that's not very helpful.
That's not ideal.
No, he finished 10th, so there was 9 runners.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, he only beat Stroll.
Right, I get you now.
Yeah.
Next up then, Jamie, of course, was Formula One's long-awaited return to Shanghai. It was actually quite a decent-ish weekend. Again, it was a part of that Red Bull dominant spell. But we saw a brilliant qualifying session, didn't we, on Friday with the sprint. And we saw our second Lance Strollism of the year, where he made a late blunder under the safety car, didn't he? Crashing into the back and taking out Daniel Ricciardo, meaning that both V-carbs failed to see the checkered flag through crashes that weren't their fault. This one is multiple choice, though, for you. Okay. Where would Lance Stroll finish in that Grand Prix? Was it A, 12th, B, 15th, or C, 17th?
This is such a random question. Why would I know where Stroll finished?
Why wouldn't you know where Stroll finished?
12th, 15th, or 17th. So given that I do remember the incident a bit because he just tapped Ricciardo.
I think tapped is probably a slight understatement.
Destroyed Ricciardo.
Rammed him, yeah.
That surely gave him front wing damage. And that was a safety car restart in the second half of the race. So he must have then pitted. I will say 17th.
I really thought you'd get this one.
Where was he?
15th. You forgot Magnussen caused a bit of chaos late on.
Oh dear, we're both on 0 point. I'm keeping track.
we don't remember this season.
2 questions each. We'll get into the real races and
3 questions each.
3 questions each, and we're on 0. This is going great. But
I've had 3. You've had 2 so far.
Now the season got good, and I reckon you can get this one.
Okay, who won Miami?
Obviously, Lando Norris won the Grand Prix. And his first ever race at that point, obviously finished the season with a few more, but won his first Grand Prix after how many attempts?
Oh, trying to think, because it was. I'm trying to do the maths.
I actually knew this before looking it up.
Yeah,
and
I'm trying to do the maths
on
this. So I'm thinking there was 19 races in 2019.
Get your calculator out for this.
Exactly. 17 races in 2020. So that takes up to 36. 21 races. Oh, was it 20? No, I think it was 21 races in 2021. That takes up to 57. Why on earth did you think I'd get this one?
I don't know. I thought the question. I knew the answer before looking it up. I don't know why it was in my brain, but it was there. So I thought it might be in yours.
I'm going to say 105?
No, 110.
Damn.
You're not far off.
I wasn't far right.
But a little bonus question for this. You don't get any points for this, but where does that put him on the list of most races entered before first win?
Before a first win. Is that 4th?
No, it's actually 8th. He's well lower.
Oh. Do
crazy.
you know what I found was mad? If Lando and Charles Leclerc both race all season for their respective teams, they'll be up to 4th and 5th on the all-time driver and single team combinations ranking.
Mental.
That is just insane.
And Lando debuted with McLaren and Charles was there from Ferrari from 2019, wasn't he? So
exactly.
Yeah, I realised over the Christmas period, actually, watching Secret Santa, that all of the class has just gone. Everyone's just a Gen Zer now on the grid.
Yeah.
Like, Carlos Sainz is the 4th oldest driver on the grid.
It's so scary, isn't it?
Like, we have seen a generation go this year, it feels like.
Yep.
We just got Hamilton and Hulkenberg clinging on.
And Alonso, don't forget Fernando.
Alonso, yeah. Alonso's like the generation before those two as well.
It's mad that you class Hulkenberg and Hamilton in the same generation as well.
Well, they
just weird. No, I know.
Apart.
It's just weird, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, let's go on to round 7, though, Jamie. We return to Europe and to the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, where Max Verstappen actually was quite a good race in the end, wasn't it? Trying to defend from Lando Norris right towards the checkered flag.
I was there.
You were? I completely forgot. Yeah, of course you were there for that weekend.
Yeah.
Obviously, there were a lot of similarities drawn between that race and the 2005, what was obviously then the San Marino Grand Prix, where Fernando Alonso was able to defend from Michael Schumacher. But can you name me every single race win at Imola between that race and this one?
So, 06 was Alonso defending from Schumacher, I think. Is that right?
That's incorrect.
Was it Schumacher defending for Alonso? I could have sworn Alonso had led that one.
So it was Alonso that led home Schumacher in 05 and Schumacher that led home Alonso in 06.
And then they... I swear they didn't race there until no, because Hamilton never raced there when they went there in COVID, did they? So 2020 was Hamilton.
Correct.
2021 was Verstappen.
Correct.
2022 was Verstappen.
Correct.
I'm going to be stupid for a second. 2023 was cancelled.
Correct.
And 2024 was Verstappen.
It was. You
So if
see,
I
you
got
don't
that, so do I get an eighth of a point? No, do I get a 0.8 point?
No, because first of all, 2024 is not included anyway. So
Okay.
you'd only get 3/4. I'll allow you 3/4 of a point, I suppose.
Okay, so I'm on 0.75.
Wonderful.
Grand. Next up was Monaco, which famously the worst GP of the season by a long way, because
As it is most years.
as it is most years, but this year especially, with absolutely no pit stops because everyone blew up on the first lap. But I'm going to ask you about qualifying because it was a lot more entertaining than the
As
race.
it always is.
As it always is. So, to the nearest tenth of a second,
Oh, dearie me.
how far off getting to Q2 was Zhou Guanyu?
Oh. It was a lot. I'm not. Was it measured in tenths or was it measured in seconds? Actually,
They just got a calendar out and started measuring
Exactly.
days.
yeah.
I'll give
Use
you
a
a point if you're
sundial.
within one either side as well.
Okay. I'm gonna guess 8/10.
Nope.
No, it was more.
1.1 seconds.
Ah, was he 8/10 off Bottas?
He was 0.6 off Bottas.
Deary me.
Yes.
I
So
was gonna do a
over a
question-
second.
Yeah, I was going to do a question similar to this later on, but when I was looking through, I was like, Joe absolutely ruins this. It makes the question
Great.
completely pointless.
I think that was
'cause
Austria.
of just how bad he was in
If I'm
qualifying.
thinking what you're thinking.
It wasn't actually, but
But
carry on.
you know what? He 4-0'd his teammate in points, so we'll take that.
4-0. Dear me.
Who's you're next?
It is. We're heading to Canada, obviously for round 9 of the campaign, Jamie. Where George Russell, we're staying in qualifying here, funnily enough.
Okay.
George Russell took pole position on Saturday with a time of exactly 1:12. Max Verstappen, of course, would go on to match that lap time. And fun fact, Jamie, which isn't your question, but this is only the second time ever there's been a tie for pole using the 3 decimal point system. Which I'm going to say is which I'm going to claim is actually the first time ever there's been a tie for pole. Because I don't know about you, but I refuse to believe in that 1997 three-way tussle. Obviously out in Jerez. But
What, you're saying that was fake?
I'm saying that was absolutely a timing glitch. I refuse to
No.
believe 3 of them set identical times for
No,
pole.
that's not a time. They
No,
weren't that bad in '97 at measuring things. I think that was legit.
No, it wasn't. You watch the onboards, you watch everything else. There's not a chance all 3 of them set identical
Surely someone
times.
could line up the onboards on that.
There was no onboard footage guaranteed.
Well,
back
how are
then.
you going to check the onboards then? You told me.
No, time it. Just follow the cars around. I refuse to believe that.
Follow the
actually
cars
happened.
around
I'm
and measure
sorry.
it by the 1,000.
I'm sorry. I refuse to believe that actually was what went down in Jerez. But that's for a different day.
Okay.
Of course, yeah. There was a 3-way tie there. It was only a 2-way tie in Canada. So who would line up P3 for that race?
Oh, I think I know that. I just gonna double check in my head before making a mistake. I think it was Lando Norris.
It's the easiest question we've probably done so far, and you're absolutely correct. He was just
Yes.
200.
Yeah, he was a couple of hundredths off, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was mad.
And
That's
started third.
probably the gaps that were in Jerez in '97.
Well, I'm up to 1.75 points now, so you better
Oh,
catch
he's
up.
building up a lead.
I am. Next up was Spain, which actually was good since. Well, I say surprisingly, actually it has been good ever since they got rid of the chicane. Who would have thought
like we've
that?
been saying for 20
Yeah.
years.
Verstappen's last win until he won from 17th in the greatest drive of all time in Brazil.
Oh, behave.
But another question regarding Mr. Russell. this time round because he took the lead at turn 1 with a really good move on the outside of Norris and Verstappen. But where did he go on to finish in that race?
Oh, dearie. He was P3.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
No, he wasn't. He was 4th.
Damn! Why was I adamant they got a podium that weekend?
No, Hamilton got his first podium of the season. I thought you'd remember that.
Hamilton got his first or the team's first?
Hamilton's first.
Oh! I had it in my head that Oscar Piastri came P3.
No.
If George Russell came 4th.
George Russell came 4th behind Hamilton.
God, it really is true, isn't it? It really is true that you can put Hamilton at the back and Russell at the front and they'd end up meeting in the middle.
Literally.
It's so
yeah,
painful.
It was Verstappen from Norris from Lewis Hamilton.
Damn it!
There you go.
All I remembered was Mercedes getting a podium there.
Well, the wrong one. Or the right one, if you're a Hamilton fan. What was next?
Here we go then. Austria was next. Of course,
Oh,
one
that
of
was
the
a good
most
race.
dramatic races of the season, where Max Verstappen would basically just start doing what he always does, and if ever someone's doing as well, if not better, he just starts crashing into them.
Wow, I didn't know George Russell joined the call.
But anyway, Jamie, obviously Lando Norris would unfortunately retire from that Grand Prix. Unfortunately,
Fortunately, looking back.
From that Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Right, okay. But this is a true or false, so it's 50-50 for you.
Bag another point here, can't I?
You could bag another point. McLaren, were they the last team to suffer a DNF with that DNF, or did another team survive and finish every race? They had every other team had a retirement before then.
Had every team had a retirement before Austria, or was McLaren the final one standing?
The final team to have a DNF. A first DNF.
Are you counting Russell's Australia thing? Oh, it doesn't matter because Hamilton retired that race too. Okay. So Red Bull did retire first. Ferrari? Oh, that's hard. That's very hard. Red Bull did, Mercedes did. Aston Martin must have done, because they have Stroll. Haas definitely did, because they had no tyres left at the top of whatever it's called in Monaco. I've literally been there. How do I not remember the name of that section? Casino Square. Or the hill. What's the hill called in Monaco? I've blanked.
I don't know what the hill's called.
Saint Devote up to, yeah, that bit. You know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I'm going to say that they weren't. I think Ferrari went longer.
Incorrect. Jamie,
Oh, they were.
We literally just did a question on Canada.
Oh, I forgot. How double DNF. So they were the last team standing. That's
They were,
mad.
yeah. Mad.
That's surprising.
Absolutely mad.
And people said reliability was 100% these days.
Yeah. I mean, most
There
of
you go.
them were accidents, unless you're Alpine, I think, at that point.
Or Red Bull. I guess Perez had crashed a bunch of times. What was next? Silverstone. You'll have good memories of this
The
one.
best race ever.
Oh, I just realised I didn't collect the answers for this question. It shouldn't be that hard.
Who won? Please say it's who won.
It was Lewis Hamilton's, obviously, first win in nearly 1,000 days.
Oh, glorious.
Unbelievable stuff. To be fair, I'm not even a fan that it was
scenes.
good. You've got as long as you need for this question.
Okay.
But you have to name me anyone to have finished second or third to Lewis Hamilton in any of those 9
Wait,
wins.
so how do we score points for this?
I'll work that one out depending on how many you get.
Okay. Can we say 10 or more?
Well, I don't know if there's actually 10 answers because there might have been repeat podiums. But
Wait, to finish second or third behind him in any race?
in any of his Silverstone.
Oh, Silverstone wins.
yeah,
Sorry.
any of his 9 wins.
Get you.
That would be insane if I was actually
gonna
playing like
say-
100 drivers.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm going to say Rubens Barrichello
Correct.
and Nick Heidfeld.
Mm-hmm. That's
I'm
2 out of
gonna
2 so far.
I'm going to say Max Verstappen and Lando Norris.
Correct.
I'm going to say Charles Leclerc and Valtteri Bottas?
Correct. Very methodical.
Sebastian Vettel and no, it can't have been then. Sebastian Vettel, Kimi Räikkönen.
They both have. I don't know what year you're going for.
I'm just guessing years now. I've
Okay.
gone off the track.
Well, yes, both of them have. So that's 6 so far.
Ricardo?
Yes.
Yeah.
7. There's 2 really obvious ones. That you're
Rosberg.
Yep.
And
That's 8.
there's one more obvious one, is there?
Like, I think it's the only one left, actually. Yeah, it is the only one left, and you will absolutely should be getting this.
I've said Rosberg. I've said Bottas.
No, you haven't.
It's Bottas.
There you go. So 7 out of 7 with no incorrect answers. That's
There
pretty
you
good.
go.
I'll give
I
you
think
a
I
point.
deserve a point. Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you.
You almost didn't say Bottas, unless you lagged or something. You did, but I didn't hear Bottas.
No,
But-
I didn't want to commit to Bottas. I can't remember which year it was because I was trying to do him sensibly.
He did it in 14, 17, 19, and 20.
Yeah, I just
So it
didn't know
wasn't
for sure. I've just got no faith in Bottas.
Wow.
Anyway, let's head over to the Hungaroring, Jamie, for the last race. Oh, sorry, the penultimate race before the summer break, wasn't it? Obviously, McLaren had a rather dubious late race swap, which
They did.
obviously allowed Oscar Piastri to take his first ever Formula One Grand Prix victory. Now, originally, my question for you was gonna be, when was the last time a team had both drivers win their first ever race in the same season? But I genuinely, looking through, don't think it's ever happened before. I
What about
thought,
1950?
well, this is what I was going to say. I think it was either 1950 or somewhere in the 1950s, because I was going to say Red Bull 2009, and then remembered
No.
that Sebastian Vettel obviously won in 08.
Yeah. That probably has never happened. That's crazy.
Exactly. But anyway, there was also, though, McLaren's only won 2 of 2024, which is wild.
That's quite
when you
surprising.
think, obviously, they won the Constructors' Championship. Can you name me the last team to win the Constructors with 1 or less 1-2 finishes in a season?
Oh, that's good. Oh, is that obvious or am I dumb?
I mean, it might be both.
Wait, 1 or fewer? Okay, because I'm thinking in 2021, Verstappen finished every race first or second, apart from the ones he DNF'd in or had mad damage. So in those races, which was only like 3 races, because that was Italy, Silverstone, and Turkey. No, not Turkey. Italy, Silverstone, and Hungary. None of those races were a Mercedes 1-2. So it must be Mercedes in 2021.
Correct. Everyone forgets this was 2021. There was only 1-1-2 all
Yeah,
season.
McLaren got it.
And McLaren backed it, who finished P4 in the Constructors.
Because Hamilton and Verstappen was so clear that season that all of
Exactly.
them just finished 1-2 every race.
Exactly. That was a good process of elimination there, Jamie. You earned your 1 point.
Yes, I did. Up to 2.75. Let's go.
Wow.
What's next? Before the summer break, which is painful,
Yep.
was Belgium.
Yep.
Obviously, a very good race, actually. Verstappen stormed to pole position, but had a grid penalty, so started 11th. And the race was won with a really good one-stop strategy from George Russell. But was it? Because obviously he wore his plank out too much. What an idiot. And
He didn't. The
Yeah.
car was underweight.
yeah, because he wore his plank out.
Well, was that the reason? Or did Mercedes give him an illegal car?
Or did Mercedes, yeah. They could have given him a legal car to try and favour him like they were the rest of the season.
Exactly.
But when was... And I'll give you a point if you can name me the driver or the year or the track, because it's quite hard, this one.
No.
When was the last time somebody was disqualified from P1?
Oh. disqualified from P1
After the race was finished, as in they won the
After
race,
is
and
finished.
then got disqualified.
Right. I've got a year in my head, but I'm not convinced.
You can have a stab at all
I've-
three of those categories: year, rating, and track.
I've got two. I've got 2 years in my head, but I could not tell you which drivers or anything. The first one that initially sprung to mind was 1997, and I was gonna say Jacques Villeneuve.
I'm staying quiet.
And I don't think it's right, but in my head, for some reason, I've got it wasn't Japan, because he finished like 6th there. I want to say it was like the race before Japan, but I got no idea where that would have been in '97.
Do you want to throw one out there?
Italy?
None was right.
Ah,
I actually thought this is quite guessable. To be fair,
1999 was my other one.
no, it
No?
was 1994,
Now that was going to be my third guess.
and it was Michael Schumacher at Belgium.
Right. Okay.
So Schumacher being disqualified from a win didn't surprise me when I saw that.
No, it didn't me, but I thought they would have happened since then as well.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, 30 years exactly at the same event, which was a bit weird.
Wow.
That George Russell had the same thing. Obviously, only one of them will go on to be a 7-time world champion. So, yes, that was it. What came? Oh, it was Zandvoort next, wasn't it? After the
Zandvoort,
summer
yeah.
break.
After a brilliant race in 2023, it delivered quite a snoozer in 2024,
Yes.
Jamie. But it was the first time ever that the top 10 finishing in a Grand Prix were all previous
Oh,
Grand
that was
Prix
cool,
winners.
actually. I remember
That was quite cool. Can you name me the 3 race winners on the grid that didn't score?
Well, one of them was Bottas, obviously.
Obviously.
Now, this is a weird one. Was this definitely Zandvoort, by the way?
Yeah.
Because I swear it was 11, and then one of them got disqualified. And I thought that was Russell.
Let me just double check. Russell didn't get disqualified in Zandvoort.
No, he didn't. But I thought the winners thing happened at Belgium then, because it was at one point 11, and then Russell got disqualified. Or it was 11, and someone got a penalty or something like that.
I can confirm all of your top 10 were
Okay.
previous Grand Prix winners.
So who is a Grand Prix winner who's now washed? Apart from Valtteri Bottas. It'd be easy to throw out Alonso, but maybe he did score points.
He is washed.
No, I think it must be one of the Alpines. I'll go Alonso. Is that right?
Incorrect, I'm afraid.
And I'll go Ocon. That was
Correct.
okay. Who was
You
the
got
third
the
one
more
then?
difficult one. You got the more difficult one out of those 3.
Did someone DNF?
No. I think you're just forgetting someone quite
Is
obvious.
it Ricardo?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought Ricardo finished 10th.
Nope.
That's annoying. Okay. Can I have a half a point?
No. Because you've already got too many on me.
Okay, good. What was next? Oh, it was
The Temple of Speed.
Italy. Obviously, Zandvoort, we paid tribute to a fallen soldier in poor old Logan Sargent, who was binned off by Williams after one too many crashes. Monza, very memorable race for many reasons, especially if you're a Ferrari fan, because Leclerc locked down his 2nd win of the season. And do you think the Tifosi would rather... This isn't the question, because this is an opinion.
It's an opinion-based question.
Do you think they would rather have a Ferrari driver win Monza, or have a Ferrari driver win the championship with a double DNF at Monza?
Oh, championship. At this point. They've won
At
a
this
couple of
point,
Italian
okay.
Grand Prix again, yeah.
I guess so, yeah. But in 2005, Do you think they'd rather had the Monza win?
Oh, I think they would have just taken a legitimate win in 2005.
I guess, but the question regards Williams and Logan Sargent's replacement at Williams, Franco Colapinto, who made a splash in his brief time in Formula 1 so far. But where did he
Had a
finish
crash.
in that first race in Monza? Which position?
Oh, I know he did well in Baku after this. I want to say that he didn't score. Although Aston Martin were terrible that weekend.
You know what? Because you gave me some options for Stroll earlier, I'll give you some options.
Okay.
Was it?
I've got one in my head. So
was it
if it comes
10th?
up,
Was it 12th? Or was it 14th?
well, there we go. Then my original thought is not there. So
Right.
I was going to guess P11.
Right.
I'm going to say therefore he finished 12th.
Correct.
Yes.
Colapinto Vito. Albon actually got 10th.
Yes,
but
I knew
Colapinto
Albon scored.
was right on his tail, like less than 5 seconds back when Sargent has been stinking up the place all year. So
Yep.
yeah, that was a good
did a really good job.
debut for Colapinto, and it did well in
was.
Singapore.
Not
And in,
quite Nick
Baku
de
as well,
Vries
didn't
though,
it?
was it? Not quite
Nick de Vries did score
Vries.
points.
Exactly.
Latifi.
So if you're gonna just weigh this up a bit, then Nick de Vries better driver.
Wow.
I'm
There
going to
go
get
all
hated
our
by all
Argentinians.
of our Argentinian fans.
The Falklands
yeah,
are British as well, by the way.
Get that one in there. Jamie's personal agenda. Anyway, we head to Baku, Jamie. Obviously, one of the
We do.
best races of the year. And unlike most Baku Grand Prix, it wasn't just because it was carnage until the last lap, when it was carnage. But McLaren ended Red Bull's domination at the top of the Constructors'
did.
Championship that they had led for the last 55 Grand Prix, or 847
That's mad.
days. I was going to ask you, when was the last time prior to that McLaren led the
55
Constructors?
races before. Thank you very much.
Sorry?
55. Oh, last time McLaren. Okay, not. I thought you were going to ask me not Red Bull.
That one's quite obvious as well. I was going to ask you when was the last time McLaren led, but you should be able to tell me that quite easily.
Yes, definitely. After Australia 2014.
Okay, wonderful. So instead, your question is, when was the last time neither Red Bull, Mercedes, Ferrari, or McLaren led the Constructors'
my
Championship?
word. Mercedes, so the big four, basically.
Yes.
Flipping A. So, my mind's immediately going to first races of the season. Oh, if 2015 wasn't a Mercedes 1-2, I think it would have been Sauber. We're going way back here. I don't think Lotus led the championship after Australia 2013 because Red Bull must have finished like second and fourth or something like that. So I think Grosjean was pretty rubbish. Like, that's one of the contenders, Australia 2013. The other one, I think we're going back to. You're going back to Brawn then, if that counts. So, are you? Can I? Before we start, actually, no, that will make it obvious. You can't answer that. I was going to say, are you counting Brawn as Mercedes? I'm going to go Abu Dhabi 09 with Brawn GP.
Correct.
Yeah.
One of the easiest questions so far, but I'm going to give it to you. And
There
you
we
did
go.
give me a scare then, because I completely forgot about Raikkonen winning in 2013. But yeah, Grosjean only scored 10th place there, so Ferrari led that
Okay,
weekend.
good.
The other one I was going to check, actually, just whilst we're doing this, was 2014 Bahrain. Because
That
obviously...
wasn't round one.
No, it wasn't round one, but it was early on in the season, wasn't it, still?
But they had like 4 1-2s for that point.
Oh, they had. Sorry, yeah, it was later on in the season, I thought, because Force India were up to P2 by then.
And Hulkenberg was third in the championship. My goat.
He was
After,
third, yeah, despite
after
2
Bahrain.
P4s, wasn't it? Or something?
No, he had something like it was something like a sixth, and a fifth, and that led him P3 in the
Yeah,
championship.
we were 6th and 2 fifths, yeah. Then
Yeah.
P3. Nice Mercedes power unit.
Yeah. Well, actually, he would have got a podium in Bahrain if not the ERS failure. So,
Ah, well. Sounds
Add
like
that
a
to the
him
list.
problem.
That takes me up to 3.75 points.
I mean,
you're
that
on-
was the easiest question so far, but
And you're on 2, so
yeah,
keep
I'm
up.
closing in.
Next up was Singapore, which had another driver's final race of his career for now, probably forever, with Daniel Ricciardo this time around. Your question is, how many tears were shed on Twitter? That is not the question.
6 billion. And I can name the account. I can't really.
We'll keep them out of this podcast, but it is regarding Ricciardo, this question, because how many points behind Yuki Tsunoda was he at the point of being dropped?
Oh, I have no idea. I'm just going to throw a random guess out there. 11.
Oh, you're so close.
12.
10.
Ah! Can I have half a point?
I'll give you half a point for that.
Thank you.
2.5. There you go. 10 points behind. It was 22 for Tsunoda, 12 for Ricciardo at that point in the season.
Damn.
Yes, and what was next?
USA.
Oh, the season actually got quite tense for me at this point, so I remember
It
these
did.
races quite well.
I've ended up with all the sprint weekends between now and the end of the year. Obviously, COTA was originally Lewis Hamilton's stomping ground back in the 2010s. Absolutely dominated this race many times over. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case in 2024. He actually binned it very early on in the race, spinning out on just lap 3.
Lap 2? Lap 3, okay.
It was lap 3, yeah. But when was the last time Lewis Hamilton crashed out of a Grand Prix all by himself?
So I can't say Italy 21 there.
You can't say Italy 21.
The last time he crashed out of a GP by himself. Now, you could just be tricking me here. Because I don't remember much of Hamilton's last 3 years, because they're all pretty irrelevant. The last one I definitely know about, as in the last iconic one, when he was actually successful, was Italy 09 in Monza. I don't know if he had one between then and now.
15 years, JB. You don't think one's happened between
Well, no,
those
I'm going to work it out now. Because I know that when he was dominating in like 16, 17, 18, not 16, lol, Rosberg.
Even you admit he dominated.
In that time period, people used to bring that stat out all the time, that he's not crashed out of a race since Italy 2009. So what I need to work out is, has he had one since then? 2020, he finished every race he wasn't COVIDized by. 2021, he did it in Imola, but then reversed out the gravel trap. Then this I just don't know. I've not cared about Lewis Hamilton enough since 2022, so I'm going to go for it and say Italy 2009.
Correct.
Well, that's mental, by the way.
It is, isn't it? 15 years. I mean, obviously he's made mistakes and had retirements through his fault of his own since then.
Yeah.
But to only crash out by yourself twice in 15 years is insane. Well, those are the only two ever, I'm pretty certain still.
No, sure.
Oh, no, I guess China 2007 as
and
well.
The other one in 07, Nürburgring. He started again, but then he retired later on because he couldn't be bothered.
No, he still finished, I thought. I thought he was a lap down in like 10th in the end.
Oh, yeah, it was, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
So I guess not a DNF. Yeah, wow.
Wow.
Wow. What a great driver. I am up to 4.75. Let's go.
So I've got
What's
to get
next?
all three
Mexico.
of these correct.
You have this. There's plenty of 3/4 points up for grabs on this question.
Oh, no.
You should get at least a half point here, because this was Carlos Sainz's final win.
Forever,
Ferrari.
probably.
Probably forever. But definitely for Ferrari for now, until he replaces Hamilton in 2026.
Behrman. 2026?
No, when's Hamilton's contract due?
I think he's got a 2+1, yeah.
So, yeah, Sainz won 4 races for Ferrari, which puts him joint 15th in wins for Ferrari.
Dearie me.
So, there's 14 drivers above him. How many of them can you name when you've got as long as you would need or want?
Michael Schumacher.
Yes.
I should have done this in a better order. I'm going to
That's
say...
You started with the most, so that's a good start.
Yeah, I did, yeah. Charles Leclerc,
Yes.
Sebastian Vettel,
Yes.
Kimi Raikkonen,
Yes.
Felipe Massa,
Yes.
Fernando Alonso.
Yep. Up to
Actually,
6.
Felipe barely had more than him, didn't he? I
No,
suppose he
he
won
had
Turkey
well more.
3 times.
Massa had 11. Put some respect on his
Did
name.
he? I honestly would have
won the
guessed like
championship.
7 or 8. Yeah, but no one won any races that year. Alonso
I
managed to
think
get 2 in.
He did. And Vettel.
So Alonso, Barrichello.
Yes. Up to 7.
Yeah.
And there's no really stupid ones in here. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know whether Eddie Irvine would have won more races than that.
He won the same, actually, as Carlos Sainz.
Oh, okay, so he doesn't
He
get
doesn't
counted
count.
then.
No, he's not. He's
Okay.
not in this list. You're up to 7 out of, what did I say? 14?
Yeah.
So you're already on a half point.
Yeah. Alain Prost. Nigel
Just. He only won
Mansell.
5.
Yeah.
Mansell is not. No.
Did he not?
But carry on.
Deary me. I'm gonna
Mansell won
say.
3. Yeah.
Well, I honestly thought it was gonna be like 6 or 7. I suppose he won most of his races with Williams, didn't he? I'm gonna say Jody Scheckter.
No, only won
No.
3 again, which is mental.
Again. Nicky Lauda.
Correct. That's 9.
I'm just guessing now. John Surtees.
No, equal 4 as well.
Equal 4 again. Fangio.
No, 3.
3.
3 out of 7, to be fair.
Fair enough. Ascari?
Yes, he's 4th on the list. That's
No.
10.
Is he?
Yeah,
Fourth
Ascari won
most wins?
13 out of 27.
And that puts you 4th on the wins for Ferrari.
Yeah, Hamilton could be
That's
there next
insane.
season.
Hamilton could be there. He will be there. I believe.
The rest of them are not world champions, which makes it quite hard.
Yeah. That's what I'm worried about.
So you're
I'm
on
trying to
10.
think of just random ones. Mike Hawthorne? No, I don't think. No, he never
he is a
drove
world
for, I don't
champion.
think.
He did, he won
He
3.
is a world champion, yeah. Trying to think of like other drivers. I want to go with. He's probably like ones from like the late 70s, early 80s, isn't it? I'm never gonna get.
There's some in the 70s,
Rennie
there's a
Arnoux?
few in the 90s.
A few in the
Arnoux,
90s.
No, sorry, there's one in the 90s. The rest
I
are
was gonna
70s
say
or earlier. Arnoux's won 3.
1990s Ferrari.
You're on 10 out of 14. You one more and you get a 3/4 of a point.
Yeah. 1990s Ferrari. Who was there? Gerhard Berger?
There you go. 11
Yeah.
out of 14.
Yeah.
And the rest of them, there's 3 more. I think they're all 70s.
All 70s. Not Andretti.
No. And they're not
No.
champions, remember?
They're not champions, sorry.
One of them
No.
definitely should have been, and the other 2 are not.
One of them definitely should have been.
Maybe he's 60s. There's a clue. Oh no,
No
he is
idea.
70s. Right.
No idea.
I'm going to call time on that one. But you get 3/4 of a point.
Okay.
The 3 left. Gilles Villeneuve. It's quite hard.
Gilles Villeneuve. I should have got Gilles Villeneuve. That's annoying.
Jackie X was another. which
That's
is
who
quite
I
hard.
was thinking of because I was trying to. Because he won so many times at Le Mans.
Yeah, and Carlos Reutemann.
Fair
Another
enough.
Carlos. Quite hard.
Yeah, another
But
Carlos on
there
the
you go.
list.
Up to 3.25. Who would have thought we'd both have?
Hey, I thought. Oh yeah, I only got quarter of a point on the other. 3/4.
You got a quarter of a
on the
point.
other.
There you go.
Fair enough.
What was next after Mexico? Oh,
It was Brazil.
I love this
Well,
race.
Where Max Verstappen took victory from 17th on the grid, Jamie.
He did.
It was the 64th race in a row a Red Bull car has scored points.
Has been the fastest, according to you.
Exactly, as well. Which actually matched McLaren.
Wait, I didn't hit you. Lagged. What did you say?
So 64th race in a row that Red Bull have scored a point, which
Okay.
matches the second longest ever streak by McLaren. Can you name me the team and the years that is the record.
So Red Bull and McLaren joint second.
Yep.
With how many races?
81 Grand Prix in a row this team scored points consecutively.
81. My mind immediately goes to when Mercedes double DNFs are pretty iconic because they either just get a 1-2 or they have an absolute meltdown.
They've just got to score points.
They've just got to score points. So
I need the team and the year it began and the year the streak ended.
Austria 18 was a double DNF for Mercedes. The one before that was Spain 16, so that doesn't really help me at all. This is difficult. This is really difficult. It must be modern because reliability, and you don't rack up that many races without a calendar of at least 18 or so. So it must be modern. So the McLaren one, was that McLaren starting in like 2010 until 2014 or something like that?
Correct.
Okay, so it's better than that. Oh, it could be Ferrari, but then they were pretty woeful at points. So the Ferrari double DNF I'm thinking of is Singapore 2017. Before that, did they have any absolute stinkers for a while? They must have gone a race in 2014 without scoring points because they were dreadful. But Alonso was dragging that car where it probably shouldn't have been. And I've only got to get the year, not the race.
Yeah, only the years. The
Okay.
year the streak started and ended.
So I'm going to go Ferrari. I'll go...
I love it when Jamie does
80
these because I know full well he takes it personally.
I do, I really do. And I know I'm already wrong, probably. But I'll go Ferrari 2012 to 2017.
Mexico 2015, Jamie.
Oh, of course. I say of course. I was never going to remember that.
It was Ferrari 2010 to 2014.
Really?
Fernando Alonso.
Basically did it on his own,
2010 when he
didn't he?
started, basically, did pretty much all of the heavy lifting by himself. Apart from obviously a few races in 2012 when he got screwed over.
Yeah.
And Massa would still score points.
That's what I thought. I didn't know if Massa scored in in Belgium 2012.
Yeah, Ferrari 2010 to 2014.
Mental.
81 Grand Prix in a row they score points.
Yeah. And no championships to show for it.
Yep. The
Wow.
proper Ferrari way.
So I'm still on 4.75. And you are still... So, Red Bull on their way to beating that now. Because they've... Yeah, Max has scored it since then, haven't they? Yeah. Next up was Las Vegas. Which was won by George Russell for his second win of the season. That's correct. Not his third. Making it 7 drivers to have multiple race wins, which has never happened before. Unprecedented. And if Sergio Perez was any good, then it would have been 8.
Was it 7 by then, or was it already 8 by then?
What do you mean?
It was already 8 by then, wasn't it?
There's
Oh no,
only been
it was,
7
sorry, it
wins.
was 7. Sorry, ignore me. I'm being stupid.
7 multiple race winners.
Yes,
That was
sorry.
the stat.
I was being stupid.
So, but the question does regard Sergio Perez in this race.
How many races
Because-
did he win?
Because, to be fair to him, he pulled off what I think was overtake of the season in this race, albeit on 2 B-class drivers, or B-class cars, should I say. A double overtake down the back straight into a dive bomb, which somehow wasn't a crash. Who was that overtake on?
I genuinely think I know this.
Okay.
Because
you've
what
said that
made it
once
more
before.
mad was the fact that it was Perez that did it against 2 of the most aggressive drivers on the grid. I'm pretty certain, and I'm going to be gutted now if I get this wrong, but I'm pretty certain it was Lawson and Magnussen.
It was. There
Yes!
it goes. Up to 4.25. You're just half a point behind me.
Wow.
And you've got 1 race, 1 question left, and I've got
Yep.
1 as
You
well.
have.
Wow.
If you get this
The
right,
pressure
Jamie,
is on.
if you get this right,
Okay, you're just going to change your question to make it impossible.
I'm not changing my question. It's already here. I promise you, my hands are away from my
Right.
keyboard. I cannot change this. So Qatar, of course, it was an interesting race, known for its drama, but most importantly, Jamie,
Zhou Guanyu scored points.
he did. He scored P8,
Right.
which obviously stopped Sauber scoring.
That's
0
harsh to say.
points. Yeah, it is. Try saying that 10 times over. Can you name me every season and team
Oh
that has
my word.
failed to score a point or has been classified at the end of the year with 0 points in the turbo hybrid era?
So since 2014 onwards.
Yep.
Okay.
You've got to get all of them for
I've
the
got to
point.
get all of them. 2014. This is playing to my strength, I think, as I'm saying that arrogantly now, so it looks awful in about a minute's time.
I hope you get one of them right.
Caterham and Sauber
Correct.
in 2014. 2015, Mana, whatever they were called. Was it Mana Marussia? Mana
It was
MRT
Marussia
or
that
something.
16 was MRT.
16, everyone scored points. 17, everyone scored points. Every team, that is, not every driver. 2018, same again. All the teams scored. 2019, just because Robert Kubica came in clutch with a 10th place. 2020, who was rubbish? I think, yeah, everyone scored points in 2020. 2021, Haas were pointless. And that was it. 2020. Hold on a second. Oh, I messed up. 2020. I'm going back now. Oh, no. Yeah. No, they did. No. 2020. I don't want to say it. English is wrong. George Russell scored for Mercedes, but he didn't score for Williams. And who was his teammate? Latifi. Yeah, 2020 Williams. 2021 Haas. 2022. Everyone scored. 2023. Yeah, I want to say everyone scored. And then 2024 everyone scored. I think I'm bang on.
Incorrect, I'm afraid.
Was it? No. What did I miss?
Oh, Jamie, painful. I thought he was getting there. He was getting there with this.
What
I
have
thought
I messed up?
Williams, you got that back, but you didn't listen to the question properly.
What did you say?
What teams by the end of the year were classified with 0 points?
Oh, come off it. So who... What do you mean? Who scored?
I love your genuine rage.
I'm taking this really seriously.
I can tell. I'm afraid, obviously, Force India Sahara in 2018 were excluded.
Oh, you're ridiculous.
And wiped of all their points.
If I don't get... I need half a point for that.
Let's see if I get my point for Abu Dhabi.
Right, yeah. This is insane.
I'm waiting for
Okay.
this question to get changed.
We're going full Michael Massey on this.
Oh, here we go.
This question's stupid. Okay, you might be able to get this. I don't know. Abu Dhabi was a fairly eventful race because Constructors' Championship to be decided. So, I'm going to ask you about the F1 Secret Santa video that was filmed
Oh,
in Abu
dearie
Dhabi.
me.
What did Franco Colapinto do with his Secret Santa gift?
He built a F1 car and then lobbed something away, didn't he, or something?
You're bang on. That's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
But I'm having half a point. I'm not happy with it.
You can't accept
We'll leave
a tie.
Leave it up to the viewers. No, because
Does
you beat
Jamie
me.
get the point?
Because you're up to 5.25, and I'm on 4.75.
Oh, you get half a point. No, it's fair enough. I'll give you half point for a tie.
Okay,
I don't mind.
good.
I don't mind. That was
We're
good
happy.
fun. I enjoyed that.
It's almost still Christmas. I actually had a bonus question for Abu Dhabi as well, but it's actually really hard, so I wasn't going to ask you this for real. But just for fun. And you know what? If you get it right, you win the whole thing, because you're not going to get it right.
Fair
The Constructors' Championship was won by a team made up of 2 drivers, neither of which are world champions or became world champions that season. So, when was the last time that happened? So I'm talking like 2010 doesn't count because
Vettel won the world title that year.
title that year.
Okay.
Matt's going to be thinking for weeks.
I am going to be thinking for weeks. It was almost McLaren in 05.
But it wasn't.
But it wasn't. Ferrari obviously won all of them from 99 onwards. Yeah, so was it... It was Ferrari... no, because are you classing Schumacher, technically?
Yeah, because he was a champion.
Okay, right.
So you got to have... when a team has won a championship
But
without
all of
either
their
driver
drivers,
being a champion.
Yeah, but they had more than 2 that year was my point.
Oh, true. No, I wasn't classing that.
Yeah, that's fine. It was 1995.
No, it wasn't.
Wasn't it not? Damn it, I said that with far too much confidence.
You said that with enough confidence for me to go and check, because I'm not...
It was driving for Williams in 95 then. It was Hill and Coulthard, wasn't it? Oh no, Coulthard had already left by then.
It was... Benetton won the championship, that's why.
Oh, 1994?
We're losing all the viewers here. I'm sorry about that.
We are. We lost them a long time ago, but carry on.
Yeah. Williams won the championship, you're correct.
Yeah.
Who drove for Williams?
Oh no, Senna was in the car at the start of the year, wasn't
Yes, I did remember that.
he? Yeah. You were panicking then.
I was. I checked this pretty thoroughly.
Yeah. I'm just going to start. Was it 1982?
Oh, it almost was.
1981.
1983.
Oh, 83. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, which was Ferrari with Patrick Tambay and Rene Arnoux.
Ah, okay.
Which is interesting.
The more you know. Fair enough.
I'm sure it's interesting to somebody out there anyway.
Oh, we love it. We love it. Well, there we go. There is our annual quiz for the F1
Let us know what
season.
you got, because we both got 5.25 out of 12.
We did. So well, you guys get out of 24, so you need 10.5 points or more.
Yes.
Which will still be pretty good going. We're hoping, obviously, to get a few more podcasts in, obviously, before the start of the new season. But yeah, now both Jamie and I are back home and ready for the new year. It should hopefully be a whole lot easier as well. But Jamie, anything else to add?
No, just Happy New Year to viewers, and thanks for sticking with us into our fourth
season.
Fifth year.
Fourth year, fifth season.
It's our 5th year. No, it's 2021, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah. I guess technically it is our 5th year of podcasting. Wow, that is alarming. We're still hilariously unprofessional.
And
thank you all.
Unfunny.
And unfunny, but that's never going to change. Thank you all, as always, so much for listening. And Jamie and I will be back very soon with more Knowing Wheel.